Fake HOA spray-painted outsider on a public memorial helicopter display. What kind of person defaces a tribute to fallen heroes with a single hateful word? In the sleepy town of Willow Creek, a rusted military helicopter, proudly displayed in a public park to honor local veterans, became the target of an unthinkable act. The word outsider screamed across its side in blood-red spray paint, a wound on the community's heart. This wasn't just vandalism, it was a declaration. A spark that ignited a firestorm of outrage and suspicion. At the center of it all was Karen Whitaker, a self-proclaimed guardian of neighborhood standards, whose obsession with control would unravel in ways no one saw coming. The helicopter had stood in Memorial Park for decades, a quiet sentinel of sacrifice. It was dedicated to the town's veterans, particularly those who never returned from Vietnam, including Captain Daniel Hayes, a local pilot whose name was etched on a bronze plaque beneath the aircraft. Every Memorial Day, families laid wreaths, veterans saluted, and children traced the names with small, curious fingers. The helicopter wasn't just metal, it was memory, a bridge to the past. So when residents woke to find it defaced, the shock was visceral. Social media exploded with photos of the red letters, jagged and raw, dripping like blood. Who would do this? And why outsider? The word felt personal, pointed, a message meant to sting. Suspicion fell quickly on the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, or what passed for one. The HOA wasn't official. The neighborhood wasn't even gated. But Karen Whitaker, a real estate agent with a penchant for power, had formed an informal group years ago, claiming it was to protect property values. She patrolled the streets with a clipboard, issuing friendly notices about unmowed lawns, unapproved mailboxes, or anything she deemed unsightly. Her latest crusade? The park's helicopter. Karen had long complained it was an eyesore, a rusting relic that lowered the neighborhood's appeal. At HOA meetings held in her pristine living room, she argued for its removal, calling it a magnet for outsiders who didn't belong in Willow Creek. Most residents ignored her, but her rhetoric had grown sharper lately, tinged with resentment toward newcomers moving into the once tight-knit town. The truth began to emerge through whispers and screenshots. Karen's HOA had no legal authority, but that didn't stop her from acting like it did. She'd been seen near the park the night before the vandalism, her silver SUV spotted by a dog walker at 10 p.m. More damning, a local teen, Mia, posted on X about overhearing Karen at a coffee shop, ranting about taking matters into her own hands to send a message. Mia's post went viral locally, with comments piling up. Karen's lost it. She's always been a control freak. Bet she did it herself. The community's anger swelled, but Karen doubled down. In a now-deleted Facebook post, she denied involvement, claiming the vandalism was the work of disrespectful transplants who didn't value Willow Creek's history. Her words only fanned the flames. Then came the twist. Mia wasn't the only one with a story. Enter Tom Bradley, a retired mechanic and Vietnam veteran who'd lived in Willow Creek for 40 years. Tom was quiet, the kind of man who mowed his neighbor's lawn without being asked. But at a tense town hall meeting, he stood up, his hands shaking with rage. He revealed that Karen had approached him weeks earlier, asking if he'd help relocate the helicopter to a storage lot. When he refused, she'd called him a traitor to the neighborhood's future. Tom's voice cracked as he recounted how his brother's name was on that memorial plaque, right next to Captain Hayes. The room fell silent. Karen, sitting in the front row, turned pale. Tom's story shifted the narrative. Karen wasn't just a meddler. Her actions were personal, a vendetta against the very history she claimed to protect. The confrontation came swiftly. Residents organized a rally at Memorial Park, demanding answers. Over 200 people gathered, holding candles and American flags, their faces lit by the glow of dusk. Veterans in faded caps stood shoulder to shoulder with newcomers, united in their disgust. A local news crew captured the scene as Mia, now a reluctant hero, held up her phone, playing a grainy audio clip she'd recorded at the coffee shop. Karen's voice was unmistakable. "If the town won't act, I will. That heap of junk has to go." The crowd gasped, then roared. Karen, who'd shown up to defend herself, tried to speak, but booze drowned her out. Then, in a moment of raw drama, Tom stepped forward, holding a can of red spray paint he'd found in Karen's garage left there, carelessly, after she'd lent him a ladder. The paint matched the vandalism perfectly. Karen's empire crumbled in real time. She stammered, claiming the paint was for a home project. But the evidence was damning. A police report later confirmed her fingerprints on the can, and security footage from a nearby gas station showed her buying spray paint hours before the incident. The crowd's anger peaked as a veteran's daughter, tears streaming, shouted, "You don't get to erase our heroes." Karen fled the park, her heels clicking on the pavement, pursued by jeers and camera flashes. The next day, her real estate signs around town were defaced not with paint, but with stickers reading "Shame." Her unofficial HOA dissolved overnight, its members distancing themselves in embarrassment. Karen's social media went silent, and rumors swirled that she was selling her house to escape the backlash. The aftermath was bittersweet. The helicopter was cleaned, its surface restored by volunteers who worked through the night. A new plaque was added, dedicating the site to community unity, alongside the veterans' names. Mia, hailed as a whistleblower, started a petition to make the park a protected historical site, gaining thousands of signatures. Tom became a quiet leader, organizing cleanups and veteran events, his grief channeled into purpose. The town rallied around the memorial, stronger than ever, proving that no single act of malice could undo their shared history. But the story lingers, a reminder of how power, unchecked, can twist good intentions into something ugly. Karen thought she was protecting her vision of Willow Creek, but her obsession with control blinded her to the community's heart. Her downfall wasn't just a sight, was a reckoning. What do you think? Did Karen deserve her public shaming? Or was she a product of a deeper divide in the town? Share your thoughts. The truth matters, and so does your voice.